Hello everyone, 5 Minute LA here. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day so far. So, you just purchased your ticket to Halloween Horror Nights, but you don't have express access, and you know it is going to be jam-packed this year, and you're probably wondering if you're even going to be able to do all the attractions in one night. Well, this is where this game plan can hopefully help you. For today's video, I'm going to share with you guys what I believe are the best strategies to use to have the best possible night at Halloween Horror Nights without the use of Express. Now every year I usually make a game plan like this, but I can't lie, it was a bit tricky coming up with one this year, mostly because of how insane crowds were last year. It was so bad to the point where line queues reached full capacity. There were so many tweets and TikToks of just casual Horror Nights fans complaining about the crowds. So the game plan I have will not guarantee you doing everything in one night, but hopefully y'all can do as much as possible with it. So let's talk about the first step in the game plan, which is to arrive at City Walk hours before the event starts. Horror Nights always begins at 7 o'clock, but it is always best to get there a few hours earlier because people will line up quickly, and if you're not quick enough, the line will get insanely long by the time you get there. But since you have a lot of time to kill in City Walk, you can feel free to check out all the exclusive merchandise at the Universal store. I also highly recommend eating at one of the restaurants so you don't have to worry about eating during HHN. Some of the restaurants at City Walk even offer Halloween themed food and drinks, so you should definitely check all that out. Now, let's talk about early entry. The early access add-ons are unfortunately returning this year. Now personally, I recommend that you only purchase it if you're only going once. If you have a ticket for another night or if you have a frequent fear pass, then do not waste your money on multiple add-ons because you can always skip out on a couple of attractions for one night, and then on the next night you can do the ones you missed. If you are planning on buying early entry, just know that those will have limited quantities, meaning they will sell out fast. I believe as of this recording, early entry for opening night is already sold out, so keep an eye out if you're interested in doing that. Also, if you have an annual pass for Universal Studios, you are allowed to stay in the park while it transitions from daytime to Horror Nights, but you are not granted free early entry. You still have to pay for it. I know there's some confusion involving all that, but it does not work like Orlando's Stay and Scream. You either pay for early entry or stay in a designated area until 7. Now once you see operations finally letting people in, head over to the front gates immediately. Now, you just entered the park, and you're probably wondering, what's the first thing I'm going to be doing? Well, the first thing you should do is head straight down to the lower lot because that's where all the most popular attractions are going to be located. If you're comfortable with walking down the stairs next to the escalators, feel free to do so because you'll get down there quicker that way. You'll most likely see people already lining up for all of the houses down there, so please keep that in mind and try to be patient. Once you finally get to the lower lot, get the most popular house out of the way first and line up for the Weekend Nightmare Trilogy. After that, you're going to go to what will arguably be the second most popular house in the lower lot, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Then you head straight to the last two remaining houses in the lower lot, which will be Universal Monsters and Dead Exposure. In any order you'd like, to be honest, because I don't really see those mazes getting super long lines throughout the year. Now, hopefully you should have spent no more than 2.5 hours by the time you're done with everything in the lower lot. So, your next move is to head straight to the upper lot and go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, because that's the way to go in order to do the next two houses, Insidious and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now one of the first things you'll see when you arrive at the upper lot from the escalators is the Studio Tour entrance, and to the right of that entrance is a shortcut to Harry Potter. This is to prevent going all the way to the entrance in Hogsmeade so that you'll waste more time like going down that street and going to the H lot. It'll save you some time. So once you get to the H lot, which is around the Curious George parking lot area, keep in mind that Insidious will definitely be the more popular of the two, so wait for that one first. Then, wait for Ghostbusters. After that, you're going to want to make your way towards the Terror Tram. Enter the Blumhouse. Terror Tram usually has a slightly shorter wait time than all of the mazes, and you would want to knock that out ASAP because it closes at 11:45 on Fridays and Saturdays and at 11:15 on Thursdays and Sundays. After that, you're going to want to head to the Quiet Place house located in the old Walking Dead attraction. On your way there, you'll encounter two scare zones, Murder of Crows and Skull Lords. After you finish a Quiet Place, you'll want to go to Late Night with Chucky, the show in DreamWorks Theater. This is another attraction that has a shorter wait time compared to the other ones. And finally, when you're done with that, you can either head to Waterworld and watch The Purge Dangerous Waters, and then end the night by doing the Monstros house, or you can do it the other way around and do the final house first and then end the night with Purge. Now, If you still have a little bit of time left, you can use that time to either shop around at the stores for more merch, or grab a bite to eat at one of the Horror Nights exclusive food venues, get on a ride, or maybe even wait in line for a house again. But what I recommend is checking out the Chainsaw Chase Out. Basically, all the chainsaw performers get together 15 minutes before the park closes and end the night by revving their chainsaws and driving all the guests out, giving them one last scare. And there you have it. You just conquered Halloween Horror Nights 2024. Now, I just want to remind you guys that you are not 100% guaranteed to do everything in one night with this game plan. This is what has been working for me in previous years, but just note that everyone is going to have a different experience, and different people might have to work around different kinds of circumstances. You might experience delays with certain attractions, or some stuff might even be temporarily closed. Just be prepared for anything that might slow down your roll, and if anything like that does come up, just please be patient. And if you have a feeling like you might not get to do everything in time, you might just have to change your priorities and make sure to check out all the things that you feel like are must-dos. But yeah, there is a chance that you might not experience everything, but that also means there is a chance that you will. Let's just hope the latter comes to fruition. Now, I want to take this time to share with you guys some other miscellaneous tips and tricks that you can use during your night. If you are planning on buying any merchandise, make sure to plan out your budget beforehand. It's gonna be hard not to buy everything blindly, but keep in mind, merch is a bit pricey, and becoming broke just generally sucks. Before approaching the front gates, you will have to go through security, and if you're bringing a bag or backpack with you, they will look inside. I suggest you pack lightly. You could bring a light jacket, portable charger, just smaller stuff that won't make you more tired than you should be while you're carrying it around. One thing that is not allowed in Universal Studios is outside food or drinks, so you can't bring stuff like water bottles or snacks inside. Another thing that's not allowed in the park are vapes and cigarettes. The park does not have any smoking areas, and you can't go to City Walk for a quick smoke break during the middle of your night because there is no re-entry to Halloween Horror Nights. Also, Universal does not give out physical paper maps for the event, so make sure to download the Universal Studios Hollywood app for a digital map. You can also use the app to look at the wait times for all of the attractions whenever you like. If you or someone in your group is a scaredy cat and doesn't want to get scared, first of all, why are you at Horror Nights? But if you're there just to hang out with friends or admire all the spooky vibes, here are a couple of tips for you. If you're walking through a house with a big group, make sure you stay in the middle to get as little scares as possible. And that's because 99% of the time, scare actors usually scare the person in front of your little conga line or the person at the end of it. Another thing that's really useful for the more anxious guest, wear earplugs or noise-canceling headphones. That way you won't get triggered too much by the loud noises. This next tip is probably the most important one in this entire video. Do not, I repeat, do not hit the scare actors. Obviously, they're not real monsters, they're regular people like you and me trying to give Halloween fans some great scares. They do not touch you, therefore you should not touch them. And if you, for whatever reason, assault them, just know that you will be arrested and you and your group will be kicked out of the park. So please don't be stupid and ruin the night for everyone. You paid a lot of money for this event, so don't let all that money go to waste because you wanted to throw hands. Staying on the subject of scare actor safety, do not sexually harass them either. It is so sad that there were so many instances where scare actors get groped all because their assaulters think it's funny or cool. It's not. It's disgusting. So yeah, don't be an a-hole. Moving on to a less heavy subject, flash photography is prohibited. You could still take pictures and videos inside of the houses, just make sure you have your flash off. Not only does it mess with the performers, but it also breaks the immersion for the guests around you, so please be considerate. During your time at Horror Nights, you're going to be spending so much of your time standing in line, and you might even like speed walk here and there around this big park, but please, prioritize your well-being over immediately running towards your next maze. Make sure to constantly stay hydrated and drink as much water as you can. I also recommend wearing comfortable running shoes, so waiting in line quite literally won't feel as painful. And the last tip that I want to share with you guys is, just have fun. You've been waiting a whole year for this moment, so make it count. Embrace your Halloween loving inner child and get truly lost in the world of Halloween Horror Nights. And that's gonna be it for today's video. If you found this video helpful, even just a little, give it a like. I will be using this game plan when I attend opening night of Halloween Horror Nights, and I'll also be making a vlog recording my experience. So if you want to stay tuned for that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you want to follow me on my social media, the links to my socials will be in the description. If you stuck around to the very end of the video, thank you so much for watching. And until then, see you all in the fog.